life that I'm living. Sit back, chillin', start a multi-business with the focus of making millions. It's the stuff that dreams are made of and no hater. Hello everyone, I want to thank you for joining us again for another episode of Let's Talk Business. I'm your host Marvell Robinson, and I'm looking forward to our discussion today, as we're going to be having a great discussion with a business owner that's here locally in the South Bend area. Today I have joining with me Ms. Shelly Rodick, who's a catering company owner, and she's going to be explaining some things to us today. So with that being said, let's get into the conversation, you all. How you doing, Shelly?
I'm doing good.
Good. I'm glad you was able to join us today.
Well, thank you.
I know
I'm glad
you are.
to be here.
Yeah. I know you're a busy person, and every time I see you, you're always doing some work and taking care of a few things. So, just to get things going, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I come from South Bend, Indiana. I graduated from Washington High School in '91. I have two daughters. One that has two children of her own. She's about 30 years old, and then I have a 15-year-old. I own the catering company, Shelly's Catering to You, and I take care. My restaurant is in Ivy Tech Community College, which is open to the public. I also do catering for the Scottish Rite of South Bend, and I do other catering throughout South Bend.
Nice. So with all that going on, let's back up a little bit and talk a little bit about the beginning. So what was the beginning of your becoming a business owner journey? What started it?
I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I actually worked at a doctor's office, and I decided that I wanted to up myself, go further my education. I went to Ivy Tech, and I got a certificate in medical assisting, and decided I wanted to stay in school a little bit and further it on, and I got a associate's degree in science. And after that, I felt like I was only limited to being that medical assistant, and I wanted to go a little further, and went back to school, graduated from IUSB with a bachelor's degree in general studies. And so I figured that kind of covered all the areas, so that whatever I did go into, I kind of touched base on all of them. And went ahead and I left the medical field, and in the middle of that, I was doing bartending at Channel Lakes Conservation Club. And they had no food at the premises, and they needed some food, and I made food one time for them, and everybody loved the food. And they were like, oh my gosh, this is your calling, you should do this. And they started asking me to do it on a weekly basis, and I did it as a weekly basis. And the chance to open the kitchen there at the club was they offered it to me, and I went ahead and I started from there. I still bartended, and I still took care of the kitchen. I was there for 4 years. We got pretty popular, got a lot of business out of there, and I went ahead and I gave up the kitchen because it was just kind of limited to just the people that were there, that were members and stuff, and I couldn't get a whole lot of the outside people to come in. So I was looking for another venue, and the opportunity came up that I went to Scottish Rite, and my name got out for the Scottish Rite, and I got a lot of business in there, and we were doing, I was busy almost every week, almost every weekend, every other weekend, and it got to the point where I felt a little heavy being a bartender and doing that, so I quit the bartending, and I was looking for another venue to do along with Scottish Rite, and Ivy Tech College contacted me, and it was through an email. I kind of thought, well, is this for real? And I went ahead and I contacted them personally and got a little bit more feel for it, what it was exactly, and I came and did a tour of the school and everything, and I had to turn into a business proposal to the school. There was like 2 other people that were going for the position, so it was more or less they were going to go by how my profile was and my business plan and everything. And they reached out to me and told me that my proposal was great and they would like to offer me a partnership, and that's how I got into the school. I've only been there since November, but between there, the Scottish Rite, and the other business, we're doing really good.
Nice, nice. Well, that's amazing. And I say that because as I listen to you explain your journey, obviously you started off as an employee. You went to school, you got some education and higher learning, but then it sounds like through your job, you mentioned being a bartender. This is when the floodgates kind of opened up for you to take advantage of your cooking skills.
Yes.
Now, obviously, what types of food do you cook?
I cook everything. I love to, I mean, there's not anything that I can say that I narrow it down to one thing. My specialty is Polish, but I have cooked anything from Polish, I've done Serbian, I've done some German, I've done Chinese.
Really?
We've done, I've done Seoul. I've touched base on about everything. Barbecue, smoking, I mean, we've touched base on about everything.
Nice.
I always find it an adventure to try different things. So I'm always playing with, different things. Like if I go somewhere and eat, I kind of critique what I would do with it, and that's how I would, well, okay, this is a good dish. It's really tasty, but I think it would be better if I did this or this. So I'm always critiquing when I go somewhere. I mean, not in a bad way.
I got you.
But, I like to put Shelly's spin on it.
There you go, Shelly's spin, indeed. I like that.
Yeah, and my daughter is a big part of that too. She's a big influence. My daughter cooks for Bob's 19th hole now, but she worked for me and she still works at the school, so she does both, and so I think I'm carrying it on to my kids.
Sounds like a legacy's being started here.
Well, it could be.
Gotcha. So man, that's amazing to me that somebody, you ran their kitchen and that was an opportunity. You took advantage of it. You didn't say, "Oh, I don't cook. I'm a bartender." No, you said, "Well, let me try it." Yep. And you became an opportunist, so to speak, and you did that, and they loved what you did.
Oh yeah.
And then from there, your name started to spread out. I know you mentioned that you wanted to expand out a little further. So this is when the Scottish Rites came into play. But then just looking at how all this took place, that now you mentioned your business is located at the Ivy Tech Community College. And you obviously said you gave them your business plan. Now, who helped you, or how did you come about a business plan that was specific enough for them? How did that come about?
Well, I took into consideration it was a college and what every what would you say, college student would eat. The menu there, I surrounded the menu about what they would like, and what if I was a college student, what appealed to me. So I went ahead and I drew up and I tried to keep it within a reasonable, budget-wise, that I know that kids could still afford it and still be able to come there on a daily basis and have some variety of food and not be stuck with the same thing over and over. Yeah. So we do specials and different, try to do different things on different days, and then once in a while we'll have different things like a Polish day where it's all you can eat special going on. Yeah. And and even if it's not the kids that we're bringing in, we bring in our people that we had before, from the other restaurant, and from the people that know me, that have had my Polish. A lot of people we would RSVP, and just to make sure we had enough to feed everybody. Yeah. So I mean, just to keep the college students and the people that knew me before, to try to bring them all in. So we try to cover everybody's variety of what they like, my plan with the school was that they told me that there was catering there, so I gave them a variety of different things that I know that could be different for them to serve, and that we could always do changing, and I was always open to their, their ideas. There was not any food that they could mention that I hadn't tried or I haven't tried to make, and I was always looking forward to trying more. So with the school, I think with the business plan that I gave them, it was more or less on how I focused more on the kids more than anything.
Okay. So if I'm hearing you correctly, what you did was in your business plan, you included what I guess you could say a portion in there that showed or showcased your diverse menu for the students. And you said they mentioned to you about catering, so you also included catering in there. So what you did was you kind of, in your business plan, made sure you drew it up that, it wasn't, something you couldn't do, but you made sure that you drew it up in a way that it was appealing to them, met their needs, and that it was something that you actually could do.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's a good thing for people who are trying to start a business. When they're putting together a business plan, they're thinking about their target market, they're thinking about the clientele and what they need.
Yep.
And old school is you see a need, fill a need. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, you mentioned about a proposal in connection with this business plan. Was there anything else in that business plan that you really had to, because most people get a little intimidated when it comes to thinking about these business plans. Was creating your business plan that difficult?
It was a little bit because this particular restaurant that I was going to was it was state and local because it's a college. You have to have guidelines for the local health department and state because it would be state regulated. So yeah, there was some things that we had to go through. I did change the name of my place to Shelly's Catering to You, and being at the other restaurant, I was Shelly Southport Dine and Dive, and that change of the name, that takes part. I mean, I had to think of something that would still be able to see the Shellys in it, so they could affiliate it, with that. That's my place. When I did the proposal up, not only did we have to have a menu, we had to show our guidelines with the different costs that we would charge, and then we had to have like the menu of what a light menu of what we could do catering wise, the different things, and then you also had to provide your license, which I had to provide that, and then of course you have to always have your different types of insurances and stuff. You had to make sure that was all, certificates and everything to provide and stuff along with the portfolio.
Gotcha. That's
and then a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
Anytime you make something beautiful food-wise and it's yummy and tasty, you want to take pictures of it so everything looks appealing.
Okay. So that's that marketing aspect.
Oh, yes.
So now since you brought that up, let's talk about that marketing aspect. Is that also something you included in your business plan, a marketing budget?
I really didn't have to put like a marketing in there. The school, the only kind of way that I could do any marketing in the school, I contact the chancellor, and they would put like an email out to the school.
Gotcha.
And the only other thing that I got from the school was I have my own separate entrance so that I can have public people come and enter, and I also can go ahead and I put a sign and everything to read out our stuff, but we really didn't have to do anything for marketing for the school. All my marketing, a lot of my marketing, my oldest daughter takes care of. We have a web page on Facebook. So on that, she did all the advertising. She's wonderful with the advertising and everything, and she would promote us and keep us going. The type of advertising and marketing that she did was very focused on exactly making everything sound really good, in words.
Right.
And that is a technique that for food, that's what sells your food.
Yeah.
If it sounds, I mean, you can look at it and it can look good, but I mean, when you put the words behind it and put the little comments after it to associate with it, it does a lot for your food, let me tell you.
Okay. And I'm glad we're talking about that because, you know, earlier, prior to the beginning of the show, we were talking a little bit about your team and how much they play a key part in the success of the company.
Oh, yes.
And so when I think about that, you know, having a team is so important because when you think about the operation functions, you're only one person and you're in the catering business.
Yes.
And, you know, talk a little bit about that.
Well, with the catering side and the kitchen side, the people that are in my kitchen now, we are very close knit. They know me very well. I can go throughout the kitchen and I'll start something and I'll mention it to them and I'll get diverted doing something else and I'll say, okay, what was I doing? And somebody will know, hey, you were doing this, and I'll get back to doing that, finish that out. Yeah. Between that, I have two of my close friends that work for me, and they know the ins and outs already of the kitchen.
Right.
I mean, I got that security that if I'd have to leave between them two and my mother. My mother is a big part of our business. She helps out quite a bit. Helps with a lot of paperwork and stuff. So, you know, when I'm doing the things that need to be done, cooking and ordering and that, she can take care of that. You know, the paperwork and stuff that needs to be done. You know, anything that needs to be done for state or certificates or anything, she keeps to make sure that we keep up to date with everything.
Gotcha.
My oldest daughter, like I said, she works for us too. She always likes to say, "Hey, Mom, let's do a special on this. I want to make this," and I'm like, "Hey, that sounds really good. Okay, that's going to be our special." So she throws in a lot of ideas into our business. I like to, and I mean, and you know, the outlook from her point to mine, because you know, 20 years difference, I go for something different for food and she goes for something different for food. So getting that, you know, that look of what she wants, and even my younger daughter at 15, what they're going for. So we get a perspective of what age group likes what and what's the going right now. And
yeah, that's what some of the big franchises are doing. They
Yeah,
have a
you
team
gotta
that
get
come
the
together and
input
they
from
talk about the dishes.
everybody, yeah.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So let me ask you, how long have you been in business?
I have been in business a little over 5 years.
Okay. Within that 5 years, what would you say has been the most challenging aspect of running a business?
Funds.
Let's talk about it. Explain.
Being that you're in the food industry, food is very costly. And it just keeps getting more and more costly. I mean, and you still have to take into consideration labor. That was one of the reasons why I left the Channel Lakes, because I just didn't have enough funds. It would cover me to just break even. Couldn't even really pay anybody to work there because we brought in just enough to cover the food and that. So going here is a whole new world. I have a bunch of employees, you know, I have several employees that I have to pay. Then on top of that, you have all your licenses, your insurance, your compliance for your, you know, credit cards and stuff. You have to have a compliance for that. You have even, you know, your payroll. Let's see, what else? I mean, it's just a lot of little things. The little things that you don't expect. I mean, things break down or something, you have to worry about that. The school covers a lot of things, you know, for it, but they're at a you know, there's at a certain level that, you know, they take care of the machines itself, but they don't take care of, you know, like other things that need to be, you know, like if we have to buy a certain chemical to keep up with, you know, the produce cleaning or sanitizers and all that stuff, all that is very expensive.
Wow.
So the ratio of what you get, and you still want to make a profit, but you still want to keep it low enough for that the college kids keep coming. There's a fine line, because you still want to be able to make it affordable.
Yeah.
But you still have to come out at the end. So a lot of times I would say at the college, the kitchen can pay for itself. It doesn't really pay me, but my catering pays me.
Gotcha.
So, you know, I may not make much off of the kitchen itself, but I make my money off my catering. My income and stuff would come off of the catering.
Okay.
And then, you know, the kitchen, it usually it does pretty good to keep it going and you know, rotating and be enough pay to where you could pay your employees and, you know, your bills for everything that is associated with the kitchen. Okay. So, I mean, opening a restaurant, I mean, it's a lot of work, because you have to find that level. You have to, you're going to have to work to, I mean, you may start out and open a restaurant, but unless you have them funds saved, you know, to do payroll and all that, you're limited. Sometimes you can only hire 1 or 2 people, and you have to make it work, and you're going to have to do a lot more of the cooking and, you know, cleaning, keeping up with things. Well, I had my family that backed me, that helped me out till we got things going, and, you know, then I could put them on payroll. But I mean, that's a lot. I mean, if you don't have money saved and stuff, I never got any grants or anything like that. Basically I had some money saved, and when they offered me the position, I was like, wow, okay, so I'm going to use all this, and, you know, all this money, you know, this little bit of money I have saved, but I was worried about payroll and that. So, you know, of course, you know, you put in play your, you know, if you have credit cards or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, starting out, you know, you have to use whatever you can, and yeah, credit cards might be maxed in that, but, you know, that's what comes along with the catering. Catering, I can go ahead and use that money and start getting all that stuff paid off, and yeah, so it's definitely not an easy road. It doesn't come easy, and there is a lot of stress with it. You know, nowadays it's hard to get, you know, employees, and we have times to where we are really, really, really slow in the kitchen. You know, it could be a semester break or whatever. Then we have times where we're really, really busy and we need extra people. So, I mean, it's all about learning the times, you know, when to have more employees, and yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
So it sounds like, no doubt, that inflation has a tremendous impact on a small business, especially dealing with maybe something in the catering aspect or kitchen. And then, you know, your company sounds like it can be compared to a Pops and Mom joint, something that's of that caliber, since you got a lot of family members that's included in there. So I really want to thank you for taking that risk and putting yourself in that position, because, you know, this is the real honesty that comes with trying to start a business. You say you've probably been in business for now 5 years.
Yes.
And within that 5 years, you've had good times, bad times.
Oh, yes.
And yet you're still moving, you're still operating. And I love the fact that you said that you mentioned earlier how your family helped you in the beginning.
Yes.
And once things got to a certain plateau, you were able to eventually put them on payroll.
Oh, yes.
So this is very fantastic, and I'm glad that you were able to incorporate that. Now tell the people briefly where they can come and support you, come and get some of your meals as well as the catering. Let them know. Well,
like I said, I am at Ivy Tech College. It's at 220 Dean Johnson Boulevard. The entrance it has a sign if you're in the main parking lot, which is on the east side of the school. The main parking lot, as you when you're parking in there, you'll see a sign that says Shelly's Catering to you. I usually try to put whatever special is going on that day, and if you need me for catering, I'm available. You could either reach me by email or you could reach me by phone number. I do accept texts, because I have some people sometimes call and and they don't know what to say. So if they text me, hey, you know, I'm more than welcome to do that. And you can reach me anytime at 574-217-1713.
All right. Well, Shelly, this has been a pleasure. I'm glad that you came out and you shared your story with us, and we're going to try to do what we can to support you as well, okay?
All right.
And so with that being said, you all, we just want to keep you in mind that this wonderful program is to really help you all who are inspired to be business owners, who are inspired to be in the world of entrepreneurship. You may be individuals who want to be in the catering business or some other aspect of an industry that's a service provider of that sort. We hope that this particular program is inspiring to you, educating you, giving you the tools you need so that you can succeed as you're striving upon that journey. And we want to encourage all entrepreneurs to continue to put that work into effect, as we know it's not an easy journey to operate a business, right? It's not an easy journey, as you just heard Shelly mention here. With that being said, though, as long as you keep going the pace, you can certainly accomplish your goals. Success can only come with actions. So we'll see you next time. Thank you again for joining us here at the show of Let's Talk Business.